Hey, everybody, welcome back. I have been gone. I have had a great time. I have a beautiful new granddaughter. Thank you all for letting me take this break and continuing to support my channel. We have grown as a channel while I was gone. We've had some really good conversations. I've been engaging in the comments. I just haven't wanted to take the time to write out all of my different types of videos that I want to do, but I've gotten some really good feedback from some of you. And some of this feedback, quite honestly, is it's all been focused specifically recently around PTSD and CMP exams. So today, I wanted to take a chance to just talk to you a little bit about how to open up, how to view the CMP exam for PTSD, and coming from a veteran's perspective, listen, none of us want to talk about mental health issues ever. We've been trained. We've been ingrained in our heads not to talk about it. It doesn't exist. It's crap. Don't talk about it. Don't get into it. We all know that's junk, right? So today, I'm going to give you 3 specific examples of what may be able to help you talk about your mental health concerns when you go into a CMP exam. And this is coming from somebody who has been just as trained as you have to ignore it, push through it. It goes back in the lockbox and doesn't come back out, that type of mentality. So let's get into it right away. Number 1, need you to realize that talking about it is not a weakness. It's actually beneficial for you and your family. If you think about it just a little bit, you'll see that if you are able to talk through what has happened during your service or how it's affected your life afterward, it's not only affected your life, it's affected your relationships. It's potentially affected your employability. It's definitely impacted you as a person, your personal growth as a human and as an adult. I've seen all these things firsthand. I'm just going to go based on my experience and my experience alone because I don't have yours, right? So think of it as more of a strength instead of a weakness. The strength that you're going to show and the fortitude, the toughness, the mental ability to say, you know what? We're going to face this thing down. We're going to kick its butt and we're going to move on, right? I'm going to face this entire thing and just get it over with. This could potentially benefit you, right? It could benefit you in multiple ways. Let's forget about the money aspect of it, right? Let's forget about the mental health care, the health ability, or the health benefits, the other benefits that you may get from being, a disabled, rated disabled veteran. But let's also talk specifically about what this will do for your own mental health. I'll tell you that it sucks. It sucks to walk through and talk through those things that really affected you, right? It's going to suck. Embrace the suck. Because coming out of the other end of it, you'll know your own personal self-esteem, your own internal thought process. You'll know that you were able to face it down. You'll know that you were able to talk to it, and you know that you'll be able to move past bits and pieces of it, right? It's still going to affect you. Talking about it is not going to fix it, right? But talking about something over and over and over makes it less of a giant stab in the neck and more of a needle in the neck, and then eventually a pin in the neck, and then eventually a pinch of the neck, right? But it's always going to be a pain in the neck. I did that on purpose, by the way. So again, I apologize for my throat. It's never ending, let me tell you. So think of it as a strength, right? Think of it as a strength. Number 2, this is a practical piece of advice. Practice saying it. Go into a restroom, go into a quiet room, go into your safe space, your vehicle, drive into the middle of the country, wherever it is that you're private, right? And what I'd like for you to do is practice giving your story. Practice your story. I was raised in this type of a family in this area. My life was great, was wonderful, wasn't great, wasn't wonderful, whatever, right? And then I joined the military. And during my time in the military, I learned a few things about myself, blah, 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 blah. And then while I was in the military, X happened, whatever X is. And then since then, or, within months of that happening, or the day after that happening, or a year later, or whenever the symptoms seriously started cropping up, go into it, bang that story out 5 or 6 times, and just don't write it down. Tell your story. I feel like, honestly, if you write it down over and over, you're going to start to story glorify it, and this is what I call it. You're going to start to say, oh yeah, I can emphasize this and I can emphasize that. No, just tell your damn story, okay? But if you tell it to yourself over and over and over, you have a CMP exam that's scheduled for 3 months from now, or a month from now, or whatever. Great, that gives you a month. 3 days a week, go out, find that quiet space, and tell your story to yourself. Tell it over and over and over, so that when the CMP exam comes and you have to tell it to somebody else, you'll know your story. You'll know that you're able to tell it because you've told it, spoken out loud every single time. Don't just run it back in your head, go, that doesn't work. Go, hey, I was, verbally. Look at your mirror, look at whatever you have to do, look at your screen, record it for yourself, whatever you need to do, and just say, this is what life was like before, this was what life was like during the military, this is what happened, this is what life's been like ever since. Here are the ways that it affects my life, right? It's very important that you have the ability to tell your story, so practically you need to tell your story over and over and over. The good news is, between cameras and rear view mirrors and bathroom mirrors and anything that shows a reflection, you can tell your story to yourself over and over and over until it's less of a gut punch every time you tell it. It's still going to hurt to tell. Do not misinterpret this. It's going to suck to tell it. Get your pride, throw it out the window, tell the story to yourself. Once you've told it to yourself enough times, you can go, you know what? I don't give a crap what this CMP examiner thinks about me as a person. I'm going to tell my story because it directly affects my benefits with the VA. That's where you need to get to. Practice telling your story. And last but not least, I don't even know how to say this right, but I'm going to try. This is somebody who's trained to interpret your story and turn it into some type of a diagnosis. This is not your sergeant major. This is not your master chief. This is not the general. This is not your lieutenant commander. This is not the captain. This is not the commander. This is not a military person, okay? You're not telling this to another military person. That's even harder to do because you've been ingrained not to frickin' talk about it, right? This is a doctor. They're actually here to help figure out what your actual diagnosis is, what the level of the effect to your life is, and they're here to document it for you. If you leave things out, they are not going to know them. If you embellish on things, sometimes those doctors can tell you're embellishing. They may ask you the same question over and over and over. How did this affect your family? Okay, well, after that happened, how did it affect your kids? Okay, after that happened, how did it affect your spouse, your girlfriend, boyfriend, cousin, your aunt, your sister, your Christmases, whatever? They're going to ask those questions over and over because they need to know the true effect on your life. How does this affect your performance reviews at work? How does this affect your ability to keep a job? How does it affect your ability to move up in the company that you're moving up in, etc.? They're there to help you. So your guard's going to go up. Your guard is absolutely going to go up when you go into this thing. You're going to go, nope, not going to do it. But if you've practiced it over and over and over, you can go back and rely on your practice to get you through. If you remember, you're not talking to somebody in your military chain of command. Your practice should be able to get you through. And over and above that, remember, this is a strength to be able to tell it. So just tell your story, right? And if you can't just tell your story, put some bullet points on a piece of paper. This year, this happened. This year, this happened. This year, this happened. This is how it's affected me. This is what's going on with my work. This is what's going on with my family relationships. This is what's going on with social relationships. This is why I live in the freaking woods, right? There's a lot of that. And I'm not bumping anybody for any of that stuff. That's reality, all right? Share your reality in the hopes that it gets translated across the proper way and you are given the benefit that I personally believe that you have earned, right? And that you're entitled to. You gave your service. Don't lie, don't embellish, just tell the truth, tell it flat, tell it complete. And then when you walk out of that room, if you are not seeking therapy or seeking treatment, I highly encourage you to get some treatment. But if you don't want to, never tell your damn story again, okay? That's up to you. But in order to tell it so that you can reap the benefits that the VA system has put in place for you, then you need to be able to tell your story at the CMP exam. Hey, thanks for being with me. Thanks for hanging out while I took my little break this year. I'm going to be putting out one video every other week now. Because again, hey guys, I got priorities in my life, man. I got adult kids, but now I got a grandkid. So I have to make time to spoil the crap out of that little girl. Okay. And I will. So every other week, I'm going to pop one out for you and I will stay in the comments. I will keep the conversation going. If you have ideas for videos, let me know. Please, if you don't mind, give this video a thumbs up, share it, subscribe, consider subscribing. I have a membership now. I don't offer any extra benefits because I don't have time to make new benefits for everybody, but it helps me support the channel. It helps me, keep the things rolling that I need to keep rolling with little tiny equipment. I mean, I film all this on my phone, but I have microphone sets and I have some lighting and stuff. It just keeps me getting by. So thanks for all your support. Watch out for one another. See ya.